There's a type of business owner who never builds anything, never manufactures anything, and never even touches the product they're selling. They just stand between two people who already want to do business with each other, and they get paid simply for being the bridge. No factory, no inventory sitting in a garage, no storefront with rent due on the first of the month. It sounds too simple to actually work, but some of the quietest, wealthiest business owners in the country are running exactly this model right now, and most people drive past them every single day without realizing what they're looking at. I went and pulled real commission structures, real deal sizes, and real income numbers from 20 of these middleman businesses. Some of them you've heard of and never thought twice about. A few of them almost nobody talks about because they don't sound like a business. They sound like a favor you're doing for someone. Stick around for the last one. It's the middleman model, built specifically for 2026, and it might be the easiest one on this entire list to start with almost nothing in your pocket. Let's get into it. Number 1. Freight brokering. A freight broker connects a company that needs to ship goods with a trucking company that has room to carry them and pockets the difference. Most new brokers get fully licensed and operational for between $3,000 and $10,000, and nearly 2/3 of them start with under $5,000. Brokers moving just a handful of loads a day are clearing over $100,000 a year in profit. You never touch a single box. You just make the phone call that gets the truck moving. Number 2, real estate wholesaling. A wholesaler finds a distressed property, gets it under contract at a low price, and then sells that contract to a cash buyer for a fee without ever owning the house. The national average assignment fee sits around $13,000 per deal, and full-time wholesalers doing even one deal a month are on pace for over $100,000 a year. No mortgage, no renovation, no license required in most states. You're not selling a house, you're selling a piece of paper. Number 3, business brokering. This is the same idea, but instead of houses, you're selling entire businesses. Brokers typically earn 8 to 12% of the final sale price, and on a Main Street business selling for $300,000, that's a $30,000 payday for one closed deal. Close even 3 or 4 of those a year, and you're well into 6 figures. You're not the buyer. You're not the seller. You're just the person who found them each other and got the deal to the finish line. Number 4, import sourcing agent. Thousands of Americans want to import products from overseas factories, but almost none of them speak the language or know how to vet a supplier. A sourcing agent bridges that gap and typically charges 3 to 10% of the order value. Land a handful of steady clients placing regular orders, and that small percentage adds up fast, month after month, without you ever manufacturing a single item yourself. Number 5, insurance brokering. An insurance broker doesn't work for one insurance company. They shop multiple carriers on your behalf and get paid a commission by whichever one you choose, typically 10 to 20% of the policy premium, and that commission often renews every single year the client stays insured. You do the work once, at the sign-up, and get paid again and again as long as that person keeps their coverage. That's not a sale. That's a subscription you didn't have to build. Number 6, mortgage brokering. Same structure, different industry. A mortgage broker shops multiple lenders to find a home buyer the best rate and gets paid a commission from the lender, usually around 1 to 2% of the loan amount. On an average home loan, that's several $1,000s for connecting a borrower to the right lender instead of the wrong one. The borrower doesn't pay you a dime out of pocket. The lender does, because you brought them the business. Number 7, staffing and recruiting. Companies are desperate for good employees, and good employees don't always know which companies are hiring. A recruiter closes that gap and typically earns 15 to 25% of a placed employee's first-year salary. Place someone in a $60,000 role, and you've just earned somewhere between $9,000 and $15,000 for one successful introduction. Number 8, retail arbitrage. This one's almost embarrassingly simple. You buy clearance items from stores at a steep discount and resell them online for a profit on Amazon, eBay, or Facebook Marketplace. Reselling is now the most common side hustle in the entire country, ahead of freelancing and food delivery combined. You're not creating a product. You're just noticing that the same item is priced differently in 2 different places and closing that gap yourself. Number 9, domain flipping. You buy an underpriced domain name, sometimes for less than $15, and hold it until a business or brand needs exactly that name and is willing to pay real money for it. Premium domains regularly resell for thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. You didn't build anything on that domain, you just recognized its value before someone else did. Number 10. Ticket resale. You buy tickets to an event before demand spikes and resell them once the show sells out or the matchup gets exciting. Resale markups of 2 to 5 times face value are common for high-demand events. This one takes a sharper read on timing than most items on this list. But done right, it's pure arbitrage between what a ticket costs today and what someone will pay for it tomorrow. Now here's where this list shifts. So far, every one of these businesses has been a one-time deal. You close it, you get paid, and you move to the next one. From here on, we move into middlemen, who build ongoing relationships, where the same two parties keep needing you again and again. Number 11. Wholesale auto flipping. You buy cars at auction, often for a fraction of retail value, clean them up, and sell them to private buyers or smaller dealers who don't have the time or connections to attend those auctions themselves. Flippers moving even a handful of cars a month can clear several $1,000s in profit per vehicle. Auto auctions are full of cars nobody outside the industry even knows exist. You're the bridge between that auction floor and the driveway. Number 12. Land flipping. This works almost exactly like real estate wholesaling, but with raw land instead of houses. Rural landowners often inherit or forget about parcels they have no use for, and land flippers buy them for pennies on the dollar, then resell to buyers looking for that exact plot. There's far less competition here than in-house flipping because most investors overlook land completely. Number 13. Affiliate marketing. You recommend products you actually believe in, and you earn a commission when someone buys through your link. The affiliate marketing industry is projected to cross $20 billion in 2026. You never touch inventory, you never handle shipping, and you never deal with a single customer complaint. You just point people towards something good and get paid for the introduction. Number 14. Drop shipping. A customer orders from your online store, and the order gets sent straight from the supplier's warehouse to the customer's door. You never see or touch the product. Your job is entirely the introduction between a shopper looking for something and a supplier who already has it sitting in a warehouse somewhere they'll never visit. Number 15. Influencer and creator talent agency. Brands have marketing budgets and want their products in front of an audience. Creators have that audience, but don't always know how to negotiate a brand deal. A talent agent connects the two and typically takes 15 to 20% of every deal they broker. One well-placed sponsorship between the right brand and the right creator can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and you never had to build the audience or the product yourself. Number 16. Customs brokering. Every container that crosses a border needs paperwork that most importers have no idea how to file correctly. A licensed customs broker handles that filing and gets paid per shipment. It's a steady, unglamorous fee that repeats every single time a client moves goods across a border, which, for an active importer, is constantly. Number 17. Travel advisory. Modern travel advisors don't just book flights. They negotiate group rates with hotels, cruise lines, and resorts, and get paid a commission directly from those suppliers, typically 10 to 20%, without charging the traveler anything extra. The traveler gets a better trip. The advisor gets paid by the hotel. Nobody loses, except the wasted hours the traveler would have spent comparing prices themselves. Number 18. Wedding and event vendor coordination. A coordinator connects couples with photographers, caterers, florists, and venues, often earning a referral fee from the vendors themselves on top of their planning fee. Weddings in the U.S. now average well over $30,000 in total spend, and the coordinator sits in the middle of nearly every single vendor decision made along the way. Number 19. Franchise consulting. Franchisors pay consultants a commission, often $10,000 to $20,000 per placement, for matching them with qualified franchisees who are ready to open a location. The person opening the franchise never pays the consultant a cent. The franchisor does, because a good match means a location that actually survives. And now, number 20, the one I told you to remember. It's local lead generation. Here's exactly how it works. You build a simple website targeting a specific service in a specific city, something like emergency plumbing in Tampa or roof repair in Denver. You run a small amount of paid traffic or optimize it to rank on Google, and when someone searches for that service and fills out a form, you don't do the job yourself. You sell that lead, or that entire stream of leads, to a local plumber or roofer who's desperate for new customers and doesn't have the time to run their own marketing. Here's why this one matters more than everything else on this list combined. You build the asset once, a single website targeting a single service in a single city, and then it keeps generating leads on autopilot month after month without you doing the job the customer actually needs done. Local business owners in trades like plumbing, roofing, and legal services routinely pay anywhere from $500 to several $1,000s a month for a steady stream of qualified leads, because a single new customer is worth far more to them than what they're paying you. And here's the part that makes 2026 different from even 2 years ago. AI tools now let you build and rank one of these sites in a fraction of the time it used to take. And once it's built, it runs whether you're working on it or asleep. You're not selling a product. You're not doing the plumbing. You're just standing between a person with a burst pipe and a plumber who wants that phone call and charging for the introduction. Here's the thing about every single business on this list. None of them require you to invent anything. You didn't design the product, build the house, or manufacture the goods. What you did was notice a gap between two people who already wanted to do business with each other, and you made yourself the bridge. That's the whole model. Somebody has something. Somebody else wants it. You stand in the middle, you make the connection happen faster or easier or safer than it would have happened without you, and you get paid for that. Not for the product, for the introduction. Most people overlook these businesses because they don't look like ownership. They look like a phone call, an email, a website that ranks quietly in the background. But phone calls and emails and quiet websites are exactly what's funding a lot of comfortable lives you'll never hear anyone talk about at a dinner party. You don't need to start all 20. Pick the one where you already understand one side of the equation, whether that's the buyers, the sellers, or the industry itself, and go make the first connection. Not the 10th, just the first. If one of these 20 caught your attention, drop a comment and tell me which one. If you know someone who's still looking for a way in that doesn't require inventing something new, send them this video. And if you made it all the way to the end, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.